So where were we, Robin?
Did you get the Beach Boys tape?
I guess not.
Oh, geez, Howard.
I spaced, and, I got two guys sitting here, and I got Gary out front, and I got John, and I got Ganji, what am I supposed to do? Do everything? Huh? I can't get the Beach Boys tape.
We couldn't get it while he was here.
What goes on this show? I say, hey, I got to go get the Beach Boys tape. So I don't run out of my chair and get it.
Nothing happens.
I just figure somebody's going to go grab it.
Nothing happens. That figuring hasn't gotten you anywhere.
No, it just, I guess I physically have to get out of the chair, run over to Gary. Can you get me the Beach Boys tape?
What Beach Boys tape?
Remember the interscene battles, whatever that thing was, that speech? What?
Freddie knows where it is. I will try to find out.
Are you curious why don't you know where it is?
Because the tapes are all over the place. They're being rearranged.
Rearranged?
They're being rearranged.
So I'm in worse shape.
Listen, this is what you want.
I want you to know where things are, you dumbox. I got some producer. That's my producer. Things are being rearranged.
All the way down the hall.
All the way down the hall, he's yelling.
Tapes come and tapes go.
Does anybody listen to the show? Does Stuttering John? Do you have a system where Stuttering John hears me say I need the Beach Boys tape?
No.
Who listens to the show while I'm doing it?
We all try to, Howard. I was on the phone with a very important person.
Who is that?
I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to blow it. I'm trying to book a major guest.
I see. So what does Stuttering John do?
Stuttering John is answering the other phones. Otherwise, the phones don't get answered.
And what does Ganji do? Doesn't he log?
Ganji's on the computer.
Ganji's supposed to call us and tell us.
Right, that's the system.
How come John knows the system and you don't? How come John knows the system and you don't? You just said there's no system, and John said that Ganji's supposed to call him, and then you call him, and he calls him. So there is a system, but you don't know about it.
Okay.
So when I say to you there's a system, you should say, yes, Howard, there is a system. Ganji's supposed to pick up the phone and call someone.
Okay, that's the system. I did not know that.
You don't even know your own system.
What do you mean my system?
Case closed.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. What are you talking about?
Who's on first?
Do you know what I'm talking about, Robin?
I know what you're talking about. I hear you.
It's amazing.
Yesterday, remember Gary gave me a big lecture the other day about articles that are faxed in?
Yeah.
And how the guys already knew the system. All I had to do was hand it to them.
Yeah.
And they would know to go fax it or copy it or whatever they're doing, put it in a file and get you a copy.
Yeah.
I handed John an article I wanted you to see.
Yeah.
And I said, do you know the system? And he grabbed it from me and he goes, yes, I know the system. And I left. 2 breaks later, I walk out and I said, John, why doesn't Howard have those articles?
Yeah, and where are they?
He was sitting there with them.
It's unbelievable. Let me tell you the system from now on. I want to inform everyone on the show what the system is. I now no longer need Gary. I no longer need Stuttering John right there. I have hired Kathy Tobin to be the show, I call her secretary, but believe me, she's the producer. You want to know the truth. Gary is now a figurehead. I've taken everything. Whenever you have anything, Robin, give it to Kathy Tobin. She's my last hope.
Well, I was just, that was the system Gary had given to me.
No, don't go by Gary. From now on, if you have a schedule change to make in your schedule, you need to inform everyone. Don't tell Gary. Tell Kathy Tobin. Everything goes through Kathy Tobin because if she can't do it, no one can. I say to Gary, what's the system so that when I say on the air I need a tape, what's going to happen? There is no system. Then John comes in. There is a system.
Yeah.
Well, why is the system not working if there's a system? And why doesn't Gary know about it?
We need a system for knowing the systems.
Right. It's frightening around here. We've got 900 people on the show, and no one knows the system.
When does Tobin get here?
Tobin's here.
No, but is she coming in at 6 in the morning?
No, I don't want to hear at 6 in the morning because I need her here till 5 to answer phones and make sure everything's coordinated. Because we have the most uncoordinated show in America.
So then when Robin needs something copied at 6 o'clock...
No, just give it to me. Forget Gary.
No, well, see, that was wrong.
But Gary can't handle it. Gary can't handle his own job.
That's what I did before, and the articles always got to you, but then Gary screamed at me. So
no, you know what? Do it the way you were doing it. It's fine. It's fine. Forget about Gary. Gary's useless to me. Because Robin goes over
we have a system.
Robin looks through the fax machine, and Gary used to come in here every day and say, Robin doesn't give me the faxes. I said, so then tell Robin to give you the faxes. Well, she doesn't give them to me. She gives them right to you. I said, listen. Yeah, it's like working with morons. I say, Gary, Robin will do whatever you tell her to do. She'd be thrilled if you had a system. You tell her if she's an interesting fact, she'll give it to you, but you got to get it right into me. You got to Xerox it immediately and get it into me. Here we go.
Now, why is this my fault? If she gave it to John and John knows the system...
Because you told me he would know the system.
He does. I don't know why John didn't get it to you.
All I had to do was give it to John and say, here's an article.
Right.
And I
mean,
did that.
my copy boy won't make copies.
I can clear this up real simply.
Now, what is the problem? Tell me what your excuse
You go
is.
into a commercial break.
Yeah.
Robin comes and gives me articles.
Yeah.
We have a system for what we do with with the article.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Good. I'm glad
So
to hear
as-
this. What is the system?
See, come on. This is. We make we make
Okay,
4
get outta
copies
here.
of it,
Yeah.
and it goes in different files, right?
Yeah.
So by the time that was done,
Yeah.
dealing with people at the copy machine, you were back in live. There's no
No,
way
she
we
said
could.
two
He's
breaks.
lying.
You're lying.
He is
No,
lying.
he was doing a
You had the
commercial.
copies right
walked
there.
out,
2 breaks? What do you mean 2
You were
breaks?
sitting there. You had the copied faxes.
Robin, you
sitting
were in a
in
double
front of
commercial
you,
break.
You had
and
copied
you
them.
did not move.
They were all copied. They were all put in the file. And it was sitting on Gary's desk. And as soon as he went to the next commercial, he came and said, "You're going to give me," and I brought him in.
Yeah, all right, good, John. 2 breaks later. You're too late.
What do you mean by
you
2
waiting
breaks?
for him to go back on the air to bring it in?
Yeah, he likes to get his airtime. He likes to hand them
Then,
to me.
at the time we were going to bring him in, when Robin saw me,
You
what was I
were
doing?
sitting there with
What was
your
I doing?
feet up.
I
All
was
right,
answering
here is the
phone.
answer. I'm going to give you the answer right now, okay? When Kathy is not here, everyone goes to Gary,
She is
even though
here.
it's useless. No, when Kathy...
Right.
No, here we go, Gary. I'm going to start again. When Kathy is not here,
Right.
he goes, she is here. No.
know.
At 5 in the morning, she's not here.
We're not talking about just today, Gary.
Not just today, Gary. We know
I
she's here
understand.
now, but we're talking about in the future. This is
Listen
what I
here,
deal
Miss
with.
Organization. At least I don't take my bank card. Robin takes her credit cards and puts them in the bank machine and eats them. She can't even figure out which one she owns.
Yeah, but that doesn't affect me.
That's
True.
right.
I don't care. I
Yes,
work.
it does, because if Robin isn't happy, it affects all of us.
Well, let me tell you something about that. I don't care if she takes her credit card and puts it where the sun don't shine, because that's Robin's business after the show. On the show, Robin behaves like a professional,
True.
and that's what I need.
True.
I don't care if Robin wants to run around naked with 50 guys in her apartment. I don't care.
Although a true professional wouldn't degrade their fellow employees.
Well, I'll tell you something. Our fellow employees need a little degrading, and I don't seem to be capable of degrading you guys enough.
But Howard, in our defense, no, honestly, in our defense,
You feel free to degrade anyone you need to degrade.
Howard, remember when she sat on the computer?
Yeah?
in our defense, I mean, we usually handle articles pretty well. So there's one screw up, one time.
No. Let me
The
tell you
last-
something. Let me tell you something, John. That's the one screw up she caught you at.
I mean,
You don't understand something. I sit here and I go on the air. Okay, quick. When we get back from commercial, now I've wasted 15 minutes. People are waiting to hear the Beach Boy.
Can I just say one thing? Can we all agree that we're all human and we all
No.
make mistakes?
You want to know something? Can we all agree that there is no organization to this place? Can we all agree to that?
Oh, yeah, I think we have agreed to that.
All right. And
that's
can,
why we
can
called
we all
an
agree?
expert.
Yeah. And let me tell you something.
Yeah.
We called in an expert. That's why I want you to remove yourself from the process. Because you are the antithesis of an expert. You foul up the experts.
What does that mean?
It means you set up systems that you don't even know about.
That's not true.
You come in
It's
here...
not entirely true.
All right.
That's
But
not
anyway, you were starting when Kathy's not here.
Do you hear this guy? Bulls, can we all admit that we're all human? You're barely a mammal. Can we all admit that we're all human? No, I'm not willing to admit you're human. I'm not willing to admit it.
It's an exaggeration.
You know what I'm going to do with the faxes when they come in when Kathy's not here? I'm going to attach them to your teeth like a clipboard. I'm going to use your teeth. That way you can't lose them. They'll be underneath his top choppers.
You know what, Bull? That's the ugliest question I ever heard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Jackie, you're
What
very
is your,
funny.
what is your excuse?
Jackie's chewing on paper.
So now what are we supposed to do when Kathy's not here?
Sight gags
What?
on radio.
When the, Jackie got a piece of paper in his mouth.
The factors come in, the factors go out.
When Kathy is not here.
Yes.
All right. See, Gary, you've got to decide how to handle these guys when she's not here. I mean, there's just no system. And then you have a system where Ganji is listening to the show.
And
he's
I don't
supposed
know
to
what
tell
he's
you.
doing.
But, Howard, what...
Now, what is he
seriously,
doing?
What... Okay, the system is set up, right,
Yeah.
for Ganji.
Yeah.
And
who knows what he's logging? He's supposed to be back there logging
No,
what's
we
going
check.
on in the
We,
show.
we check his stuff.
Do you?
Yeah.
Gee, I hope
That's
so.
why Gorilla does not... We check everyone. That's why Gorilla's not allowed near the computer.
Listen to all the guys involved. Gorilla, Ganji, Stuttering John. I got Gary. Kathy's back there now.
Well, we're a big organization.
Yeah,
We're not the,
an
we're not-
organization of fools.
You know that Ganji spelled Manhattan wrong on the computer yesterday, and he still
Spell
doesn't know how to
Manhattan
spell
for
it.
Oh, no.
Spell it.
M-A-N.
Yeah.
Wait, man. H-A-T-T-E-N.
Oh, boy. How long have you used it?
What's
New
college?
York.
What college do you go to?
that's wrong.
What college did you go to?
ZW Post.
CW what? ZW Post?
ZW Post.
Because it is ZW Post.
ZW Post.
It's CW Post.
ZW Post.
You can't even spell his college.
As long as we're exposing all the interns, I should say that Stuttering John gave Gorilla a mini spelling bee the other day.
Yeah.
He asked him to spell the word rhythm.
Yeah.
And I bet John that he would not get past the second letter.
Yeah.
And we were right.
Wow.
He was wrong by the second letter. And that's why he doesn't go
Ganji,
near
you're
the
a
computer.
college guy.
Howard,
What?
Grillo asked me how to spell tonight today.
Come here. How do you spell tonight? Do you know?
Come on.
TONIGHT.
And you didn't know that?
Now, I can't explain what goes on in my head when I spell, but sometimes at the simplest words, I can't get it out.
Zimbalist? These are two guys who want to be disc jockeys.
Yeah,
That's why they're interning here.
See, boys, that's my...
I got the Zimbalist and ZW Post.
ZW Post. Zimbalist words.
But, you know,
Zimbalist words.
he just hit it on the head, Howard, for me.
Zimbalist words.
I can
How do you
spell the
spell
Zimbalist words.
I don't know what goes in my head.
But I don't know what goes in my head because I've got the
Because
Zimbalist
nothing goes on in his head. Look at the two idiots. These guys are running my show.
You know, we have a really good system for doing things around here. I don't.
Yeah, you don't get anything
System.
done.
He's got a
System. It's told to John, then it's told to Ganji, and then it goes to me.
Yeah. Well, nobody's doing anything. And it's embarrassing to me, and it's an affront to my sensibilities. It's an absolute affront.
Boss, I can't explain what goes on in my head either. I like that excuse.
No, you know, it's all funny. We're having fun in games and everything, and it's funny on the air, but it really isn't funny back there.
Yeah, when you really need to get something done, it can be pretty ugly.
I got to tell you something. You know why I got the bug up my ass is from being over at that E Network. You should see the organization. And she's got one person working under her. You guys, Gary, I mean, these guys are interns. They're not paid. You got to get it together.
Yeah.
You got to get a system, and you got to know that Ganji's the system if you're going to use him.
Right, and then what happens when Ganji doesn't call? Then what do you do?
But you didn't even know the system.
Yeah. What?
Did you know that Howard needed the Beach Boys tape?
Yes.
And what did you do when you
Absolutely nothing.
heard that? Right. Why?
No, this is because.
Wait a minute. There's a fault here.
Right.
Because if Ganji's in the back and he hears that you need the tape,
Picks up the
how
phone.
does he know that somebody hasn't dealt with
He
it?
doesn't.
doesn't.
Just calls.
He just calls. He goes,
He
hey,
just
Howard
assumes
just
that
said he
nobody's
needs a
dealt
tape.
with it.
Right.
If we have it, then don't worry about it.
Right. Then we say, don't worry, it's under control.
Okay, what usually happens is when you need something
this.
and you go into a commercial.
Right.
So you said, I'm going to get it when we come back from the commercial. Somebody usually comes out of the studio or Gary comes in and you tell him, can I get the Beach Boy? Obviously, he must not have come in or something like that. But
Well, no, he
usually
didn't. But you're the one who's supposed to tell
You're supposed
him.
to call anyway.
I definitely do. If you're in the middle of a rap or you're not doing anything, I definitely tell him. You know, when he can't.
Oh, I see.
possibly
Because
hear
I was
it.
going to a commercial, the system broke down.
I figured
You got confused because we went to a
right because
commercial.
you went to commercial, and I figured somebody had to know that
Wait,
you know even if
my
Jackie,
my
even if
favorite part-
Jackie came out or something.
My favorite part is that now Gorilla has an opinion on this.
What
Get
is
in
this,
there, man.
Gorilla?
Part of the system is every commercial break, Gary is in here. Every commercial break.
That's
I know.
the system.
So that's part of the system.
I was on a phone call. That's where it broke
But
down.
that's fine. But why doesn't Gary even know his own system? I said to Gary, what's the system? And he goes, I don't know. I don't
There is
have
no
one.
system.
Got me
You
there,
guys
boss.
are aware of it, and he's not. That's what concerns me. He's my producer.
But you know what? I don't know why he said he didn't know, because 2 or 3 weeks ago we were having this argument about this system.
But he forgot about it. We had it on the air.
Right.
Right.
I forgot the system.
Gary, it's not even
There's a
funny
lot of
anymore. You
systems.
really got to get it together out there. I need you. I mean, I know you're having a great time, but you
Oh,
gotta
I'm
just
not
get
having a great
together.
time. I mean, I'm enjoying my job, but it's not like you think we
Well,
should.
of course you're enjoying your
I'm
job. You got
telling
nothing to do.
If you had to sit out there, listen, I know that
Yeah.
that you're not organized. That's why you have us. But if you had to sit out there and if you just could walk one day in our shoes,
Can I say something?
I'm
Let me
serious.
say something, Gary. Am I the best at what I do in my business?
Yes,
Okay. You know why I do it?
because you're the best at it.
I take pride in my work.
I take pride in my work.
Do
Boy.
you want to be the best, whatever you are?
Sure.
You do. So how do you accept, you say, gee, if you could walk in my shoes. My boss doesn't say to me, oh, I don't go in there, oh, if you could walk in my shoes. I got to
But
produce.
you do make mistakes sometimes.
I don't make any mistakes.
You do
Am I
something-
number one in Los Angeles?
Right. You could.
Am I number one in New York? Am I number one in Philadelphia? What mistake do you see?
Even number one does not.
What? Name a mistake. Give him an example.
Give me my mistake. I've
okay.
produced.
Sometimes, seriously, sometimes when we're in here, we're talking about technical mistakes, stupid
Right.
stuff that's funny
Right.
for the show.
Right.
Sometimes I'll say, Howard, on tape machine one is such and such a thing.
Go ahead.
And you'll play the wrong thing.
Right.
It's a legitimate mistake.
No, that's not a mistake. That's my show. That's the way I handle it.
Right, but it is a
Do you know
mistake.
that was an act of genius to go on the air and admit your mistakes and do all that kind of stuff? That was my way of dealing
I'm not saying that's
with
not...
my inadequacies.
I'm not saying that that's not funny.
Don't
and that's
question me. I'm number one.
Wait a second.
When are you going to be number one at your job?
I'm losing my grip.
Get out of here.
I'm not saying that it's not funny when you do it.
You know what I'm
but
going to
it
do?
is-
I
it
have a
is-
new system.
Yes.
When I
See,
say...
how come I can't make fun of my mistakes?
Because I don't need you to do that. I didn't hire you to do that. I need someone here not making mistakes. I don't need you to be like me. If I want you to be like me, I hired you to organize me. That's your job. You're not getting it done. Get it done.
See, you found a way to work your mistakes into your act.
Right. That's what you
I
got to do. Here's the new system, boys, because I got to get back to the news. Here is the new system. All right? Listen, Three Stooges. Here's the system.
Look at him standing there.
When I say I need the Mike Love tape, I am going to take out an ad in Newsday. And when you guys read that, then you'll go get the tape. Very good. Okay, goodbye. That's good. You make mistakes, Bull. I don't make them every 3 minutes. Some of the things I do right. I apologize for that session. It's embarrassing to have that kind of thing happen.
Baba Booey.
They're amazing.
I would like to present a stronger image on the air, but I can't. Hey, you know what? I'm too worn out after the show to go into these conversations
No,
with them.
you can't keep this up all day long.
No. It's like after the show, I'm whipped. Because Gary always says to me, how come you don't say anything back in the office? Gary, I'm exhausted. Wants me to have a private conversation with him.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, where were we in the news? Mike Love?
Well, did you get the tape ever?
Yes.
After all that?
Yes, I did. You know, I'm sick of this. Fred's the only one who knows where the Mike Love tape is. That's baloney. So make yourself familiar.
Follow Fred.
Yeah. Watch Fred, and whatever he's doing, do the same thing. That's all.